Another global news, Shivan. Israel's spy chief is due to travel to Qatar for ceasefire negotiations.
Well, US will ask the UN Security Council to back a resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and an Israel-Hamas hostage deal. Washington is increasing pressure on its ally Israel to allow more humanitarian aid and better protect the civilians there.
US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said in Egypt that he believed that the talks mediated by the US, Qatar and Egypt could still reach a ceasefire deal. Take a listen.
We've been working, as you know, with Egypt, with Qatar, and with Israel to put a strong proposal on the table. Hamas responded to that. Negotiators continue to work. The gaps are narrowing, and we're continuing to push for an agreement in Doha. There's still difficult work to get there, but I continue to believe it's possible.
Arab ministers and a top Palestinian official briefed Blinken on their vision for a ceasefire in Gaza, followed by concrete measures to implement a two-state solution. The group that met Blinken in Cairo included the foreign ministers of Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Jordan. He also met the UAE Minister for International Cooperation and senior Palestinian Authority figure Hussein al-Sheikh.
Experts will meet in the coming few days to decide steps to address the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. As per the Egyptian Foreign Ministry, the group that met Blinken stressed their opposition to any displacement of the Palestinians from their land.
Blinken earlier met President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. They discussed the establishment of an independent Palestinian state with security guarantees for Israel. Blinken had met with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan in Saudi Arabia on Wednesday. The US Secretary of State said that Washington and Riyadh have made good progress in talks on normalizing ties between the kingdom and Israel. However, he did not provide a timeline for concluding a deal.
And we had a very good discussion about the work that we've been doing for many months now on normalization, and that work is moving forward. We're continuing to make good progress. I believe we can reach an agreement which would present a historic opportunity for two nations, but also for the region as a whole.
Washington, which traditionally has shielded Israel at the UN, has applied more pressure to its longtime ally. The draft UN Security Council resolution on Gaza ceasefire marks a further toughening of its stance.
The shift has coincided with rising global condemnation of the war, civilian deaths, domestic political opposition to Biden's stance and the prospect of a man-made famine here. Earlier in the war, the US was averse to the word ceasefire and vetoed measures that included calls for an immediate ceasefire. But during the war, Washington had vetoed 3 draft resolutions, 2 of which would have demanded an immediate ceasefire. Most recently, the US justified its veto by saying that such council action could jeopardize ceasefire talks.